What's happening, everybody? This is Lawrence Ross. I want to talk about this. There's a controversy between two YouTubers, Nina Unrated and Trisha Paytas. So I'm going to be putting a link to the original channel where I found this information on Backwoods Barbie. Thank you for providing this information. And I'm going to be putting a link to an article. And I'm going to be giving you my commentary on this. But first, let's take a look at the facts, and then I'll get into my stance on this. All right, here we go. So from what I can gather is there's a website called onlyfans.com. And the way it works is content creators can charge a fee so that fans can watch them do things that aren't necessarily considered to be proper on regular platforms of social media. You got to pay a little bit to see the really wild stuff. And Trisha's done it for a while, and Nina Unrated has done it for a while. And from what I can gather, I think Nina Unrated, I guess, had messaged Trisha and said, hey, look, check out this cool website, onlyfans.com, and this is a referral link, and if you use it, every time you make something, I get a 5%, I get 5% of what you make. So it's a windfall for everybody. Everyone's happy, there's content, it's great. Well, as time went on, Trisha's channel started getting a lot of traction, and Nina's channel started getting a little traction from what I can gather. And so Nina was looking at her account, and she saw that she had a lot of money courtesy of Trisha, so she made a nice video. She made a video saying, hey, Trisha, thank you very much, all that stuff. The next day, she wakes up, she looks at her thing, and $16,000 gone. Out of there. And her reaction was, well, this is Trisha, screwing me over. She stole from me, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That whole thing. Now, according to what I heard on Backwoods Barbie's channel, allegedly this woman, Nina Unrated, has some controversy tailing her. And, well, I did a little research and I found out about it. And this is an article from the Broward-Palm Time, from Broward County in Florida. Surprise, surprise. It's near Miami, but either way. The headline reads as follows. YouTuber Nina Santiago shot video moments before being arrested following SWAT standoff. And the article was by Chris Joseph, published on November 13th, 2015. Now, I would like to have a little bit of a disclaimer here for any of the younger people who might be watching. This will contain foul language, but it is in the context of a news story, so please be mindful of that. Anyway, here we go. A woman who is in a brief standoff with SWAT on Wednesday turns out to be a minor YouTube celebrity named Nina Santiago. And as it goes with YouTube celebs, she shot a video moments before she was arrested. Santiago, whose real name is Denise Muniz-Torres, was taken into custody Wednesday after police were called to investigate a domestic-related incident, according to an arrest report. Muniz-Torres, 37, had allegedly pointed a handgun at her boyfriend and told him to get out of her home at the Madera apartment complex, located on, I'm not going to give the address for, my own reasons, but it's in Pembroke Pines, Florida. Authorities arrived at the apartment building at about 12:30 in the afternoon. Police closed off a section of the building as they negotiated with Muniz-Torres. The call prompted local news stations to cover what appeared at first to be a serious standoff. Initially, Muniz-Torres refused to let her son out of the apartment, but authorities persuaded her to do so after speaking with her. The standoff lasted for more than 6 hours before Muniz-Torres surrendered to police, according to the report. She was then arrested and charged with child neglect and aggravated assault without the intent to kill. Before coming out and surrendering to authorities, Muniz-Torres, who works as an exotic dancer, filmed a video she posted on her YouTube page, Nina Unrated, where she tearfully blamed her ex-husband, former Miami Dolphin, Mulan Greenwood, as well as her family for being in this position. In the video, titled The Truth, Are You Happy Now?, Muniz Torres addresses Greenwood saying, "I want to thank you for trying to ruin my entire life, and I want to thank you for trying to take back Maximus away from me. The last thing, I want to thank you for trying to take Maximus away from me. The last thing that you know I have ever loved me unconditionally." Muniz Torres and Greenwood were married in 2011. Muniz Torres, who is a Twitter account with more than 42,000 followers and a YouTube channel with 149,694 subscribers, blamed her husband, mother, brother, and sister in the video. And here's an excerpt from the video. This is her words, by the way, and the video has since long been taken down, by the way. "And now there's a whole house filled with police officers, and I want to let you know that you have contributed to what have happened today. You are a son of a bitch," a tearful Muniz Torres said. Muniz Torres said that she took care of Greenwood when he went broke from drinking and partying, and accuses him of getting government checks fraudulently, even though he is not disabled. "My son has no idea what a pathetic piece of shit you are," she says. Marilyn Greenwood, "Do you feel good about yourself?" she asked, before saying that Greenwood told her little sister she was a stripper and had been sexually abused. Muniz Torres then said, "Let's talk about your sexuality and how I used to fuck you in the ass. Let's put everything out there because there is no coming back from this." At one point in the video, Muniz Torres is interrupted by her son, who appears off camera. She politely asks him to close the door before she finishes recording. In a previous video posted, Muniz Torres confesses to being bisexual in an effort to get ahead of alleged threats made by Greenwood that he would expose her to her ultra-conservative Christian family. She also goes on to reveal that very personal information, such as being forced to have sex with her brother while their father watched and being forced to watch pornography. She also accuses her father of raping her. According to police, Muniz Torres admitted that she pointed the gun at her boyfriend and that she was having suicidal thoughts. Well, there's the article, folks. And now, here is my take on it. I personally think that this woman is not a true fan of Trisha, because in a new video she just posted the other day, she starts bashing Trisha, and she says, "You're 27, I'm 41. Well, guess what? You got the age wrong. Trisha's actually 32. She's not 27. She was 27 back in 2015. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 2015. But this ain't 2015. This is 2020. And this is just another example of a self-entitled fan, quote unquote. These self-entitled people who think that since they're a fan of whoever, the entertainer owes them something, owes them a favor. Like they should be waited on hand and foot by this person because they bought all their merch, they did this, that, and the other for them, etc., etc., etc. This isn't the first time Trisha's had to deal with people like this. There was a story back in December of 2019. There was this YouTuber named Hot Tea, and she made a video where she said she paid for a shout-out from Trisha on Patreon. And she messaged Trisha like a couple of days afterwards, basically saying, "Hey, look, here's what I want in the shout-out." And then a couple of days later, she messaged her again, I think bugging her, harassing her for the shout-out. And so she was redeemed her money. And basically, you had all these people who were accusing Trisha of stealing from the fan, embezzling, that sort of thing. But again, I think it's a case of people who are just acting incredibly entitled, and they feel that they are owed something and they should be top priority. Let me just clarify my stance on this. Let me just clarify where I stand on this, okay? I have met Trisha a total of 2 times. That's it. In person, twice. Once in Denver and once in Kansas. And I've given her my contact information. And she follows me on Twitter. And I've messaged her. I haven't gotten a response, but you know what? I'm not expecting a response. If I got one, then great. That's fantastic. Whenever I've interacted with anybody who I consider famous, anybody who I enjoy, whoever it is, I'm always conscious of personal space, respecting their boundaries, and realizing, hey, look, this person's going to be pretty busy. They're not going to get back to me right away. I get that. And if they do get back to me, great. If we can open up a dialogue, fantastic. If we can work together on something, even better. But when you have a case of these self-entitled fans, and I think the reason why is because everybody knows that this Nina Unrated did this. And because of that, it is why she lost custody of her kids. And when you do something like that, if you knew that there was someone who did that, you wouldn't want to support them. You wouldn't want to help them out. I know I wouldn't. Now, are there bad apples in every fan base? Absolutely. There are. There could be a guy who's a big devotee to, the TV show The Office. You go to his house, everything is The Office related. He's got a little Ricky Gervais little figurine, all this stuff. The guy could be a mass murderer. You don't know. And sometimes maybe you just don't want to know. Because if you want an example of the fan turning on the performer, look no further than the story of Selena. Selena was a pop artist who sang primarily in Spanish. She was big in Texas. And during her short career, she attracted a fan named Yolanda Saldivar. She was a registered nurse who went to one of her concerts and was just starstruck to the extreme. It got to the point where she wanted to start a fan club, so she called up her dad and asked, can I start a fan club? And it wasn't like a one-time thing. She had to call many times, but they finally relented, like, all right, fine, you can do it. And started out okay, but then cracks started to form. People weren't getting their stuff. Money was being mishandled. And Selena finally wised up and realized, okay, this woman is no good. And this woman, I feel, tricked Selena into going to a motel, Days Inn Motel, room 158, by the way. And on the afternoon of March 31st, 1995, Selena went to the motel room alone to try and sort this out with this Yolanda woman who said she had the missing money. But it did not work out that way. She ended up getting shot. She ran to the lobby, collapsed, died there, and 50 feet away, Yolanda Saldivar, she's in her truck, barricaded, gun to her head, on the phone with the police, and she says this. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't have my thing unplugged. My bad. And she says this. Regardless if she didn't mean to do it, she still did it. And I think this Nina Unrated is just trying to be the victim. Just because she was sexually assaulted, allegedly, by her family, just because she's going through some hard stuff in her life. Oh, my bad. Take two. Keep it in. Just because she went through some hard stuff in her life doesn't give her the green light to act so entitled. It doesn't give anybody the right to act so entitled. Why can't people just act somewhat normal when they're around people they like? Can they just do that? Is that so damn hard to do? I don't know. But what I do know is this. Let me just say this right now. This channel And my radio show, the LRWS, which can be heard Friday evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on TF52.com, Radio Chaos, KAOS.net, and NoNameNetwork.net. My program, this channel, I will never say anything disparaging about Trisha Paytas ever. Ever. The defense rests. I'm Lawrence Ross. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.